Epilogue. So the days passed and the seasons changed, as did Castle Ulstead. With Queen Ingrid gone, the palace became brighter, the hallways filled with laughter, the coldness ebbed, and warmth entered. Bright flowers bloomed in the gardens, and within the castle walls. It was a stark contrast to Ingrid's reign and her harsh taxidermic decor. Despite its massive size, Castle Ulstead became a home. At the heart of this new home were Aurora and Philip. Their marriage had brought the peace they had promised and finally united the citizens of both kingdoms. Human children of Ulstead and fairy children of the moors played alongside one another, their laughter a joyful reminder of how far things had come. In uniting their kingdoms, Aurora Philip had created a better one, a place where all were welcome. Standing on a balcony, Aurora looked out over her kingdom. A gentle spring breeze carried the smell of impending summer, and on the ground far below, she could see flowers blooming. Beyond the river, the moors looked lush and rich as leaves and flowers flourished. Hearing footsteps, she smiled as Philip joined her on the balcony. "What is it, love?" he asked, taking her hand. Aurora grinned. "It's a new day," she said simply. "I suppose it is," Philip answered. As they watched, Maleficent appeared and hovered over the balcony. In the days since their wedding, the dark fae had grown more comfortable around Philip and even King John. She spent equal time between Castle Ulstead and the moors to show all that the peace between the kingdoms was true and lasting. But the time had come for Maleficent to return to the moors more permanently. The fairies needed her, especially the dark fae, who now called the moors home. While they flourished in the openness the nest had never offered, they lacked guidance without Conal. Maleficent had become their de facto leader and mother. While Aurora would miss the undivided attention, she knew soon enough there would be reason for Maleficent to visit Ulstead. "Maleficent," Philip said in greeting, unaware of his wife's thoughts. "Could you stay a while?" Aurora couldn't help asking, her voice a bit shaky. She knew she sounded every bit the young girl she had once been, but she didn't care. She was going to miss her mother, even if she was only across the river. Maleficent smiled at Aurora. Taking her hand, she squeezed it gently. "I have work to do," she said. Aurora nodded. Maleficent was right. In the days following the wedding, Maleficent had told her all about the nest in Conal. Aurora had wept when she had learned Maleficent had lost such a wonderful friend. But she also heard the happiness in her voice and saw the joy that lit up Maleficent's face as she talked about the young fae. She knew her mother had found peace, playing with them in the moors. She also knew that Maleficent would always be there. Together they had made that possible. The division between the kingdoms were gone, once and for all. Both the moors and Ulstead were flourishing, and as her mother moved to fly away, Aurora knew there was another reason for them to remain forever connected. Maleficent turned and looked at Aurora and Philip over her shoulder. "I'll see you at the christening," she said, smiling. With a flap of her wings, Maleficent soared into the sky behind her. Aurora laughed as Philip turned to her in surprise, her secret revealed. As he pulled her into a hug, Aurora watched Maleficent fly toward the moors, her wings spread wide. As she dove, a group of young fae flew up to meet her. Even from where she stood, Aurora could hear their laughter as they called to Maleficent, asking her to play. Aurora smiled. Her family was growing, and so it seemed was Maleficent's. Individually, they found happiness they didn't know was possible, but together they had made dreams come true. Together, they'd created a world where there would be love, forever and always. And that is the end of Maleficent's tale, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Thank you so much for joining me on this very long Sleeping Beauty journey, and I hope to see you next time at the Little Mermaids as we dive into the sea with all of her adventures. Till next time, see you real soon.